What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video. This time we have a video here by Plus Minus that was asked me to react to on the last viewer submissions. But as I said then, these videos were so long and they had very niche topics that I feel like they deserve their own video. And that's what I'm doing here for today. We're gonna first react to Racism Is Always the Way, Arknights IS5 review, Alzheimer edition, trademark, by Plus Minus. And then tomorrow you will be seeing the video out for Clunkiness Was an Operator by Storm. But if you like these type of videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because most of you are not subscribed, and subscribing tells YouTube to keep recommending my videos, and that in that way help the channel. Also, make sure to check out Hoyoverse. I am awful at this type of stuff, but I am affiliated with them. Use code RAYCON15 for 15% discount on checkout. But yeah, without anything else to do, let's check out this video by Plus Minus. Link will be down below.
This video is sponsored by Lonely Pillow. Hey fellow netizens, Plus here.
Oh, another
What is
Lonely Pillow
Strategies 5? Is it a collection
sponsor
of different possibilities
That's crazy.
that could have unfolded throughout Terra's history?
Of course we have
is
a discount.
The result of the relentless
Link is also in the Twitch,
towards the Sarkaz,
doing
shaping
exclamation point
the
wife
very
wears.
nature of their furnace.
Does this
or
have
perhaps
subtitles?
is it simply a roguelike game mode that just so happens to fit perfectly within the game's world building? Well, it's none of those. IS5 is the spectrum. Either you become the sole benefactor of the Sarkaz, building their utopia, or you become a ranked racist, committing mass genocide in Castel. The choice
Just
is
play
yours.
Totafons.
IS5, Sarkaz furnace side
The
fables,
racist.
is truly the pinnacle of all IS iterations, and I can say with confidence, all our past suffering was worth it.
I know he might answer this, but how important is IS stories when it comes to the world building? Like, is it like one of those side events, like it's extra lore but you don't miss anything important, or is it like, oh, this has a good chunk of key lore that is important to the world? Like, which one is it? Because I've been skipping a lot of IS3. I'll be honest, I've left IS3 behind the dust. I've been spamming IS4, but that's not because I love Sami, but mostly because I needed the module, not the module, the nuclei thing at level 54. But is it one of those things if I want to know core details about the lore, I should do IS5 and read IS5? Feel free to tell me down below in the comment section.
Now to those still lagging behind, what are you waiting for? We have a whole race to slaughter. The protagonist of our fable is Nim,
oh, it's more like what ifs. Got it.
Jarl. From a mechanical perspective,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What are you waiting for? We have a whole race to slaughter. The protagonist of our fable is Nymph, a cute and funny Jarl. From a mechanical perspective, she could be the daughter of Arturia and Logos. However,
it's just
aside from
what
being
if
another member of the Necrosis gang, she can also commit a little tomfoolery in the game. This sarcastic
gonna happen when it
from
comes to
time to time. She needs correction, and I have the key. But she's not alone. Her closest companion is this Tin Man. Yes, that's literally his name. Bro has one of the craziest glow-ups in Arknights history, going from an NPC in IS2 to a free operator in IS5. I wish he was my dad. He dropped before wishing for Screwlim's release was cool. Now he works for us, using his unique skill, throwing infant Sarkaz souls at enemies. Think fast, demons, we are coming for you and your future generations.
That's
the most effective way to counter an
Screwlim.
autistic threat is to use autistic offspring. And I'm glad he's on our side, because those tin can be really annoying. Before we really step into this game mode, I have to make something clear. IS5 is not a journey. It is a dreamlike scenario offering a glimpse into all possible outcomes throughout the lens of this furnace, powered by the Revenants, aka Sarkaz souls created from ancient superweapons, capable of unleashing unspeakable violence. In other words, this whole game mode is the collective copium of the Sarkaz race, but
also I've yet to see a single IS5 run on YouTube or on Twitch livestream that doesn't use Wizardel.
We are here to ruin the fun by committing a little bit of arson in the city. Fortunately, the timeline we enter
Everyone uses Wizardel on IS5, I swear to God.
Not a good place to live, to put it lightly. The Sarkaz are dying without us even lifting a finger. People are suffering from all sorts of things, and oropathy is of their least concern. However, don't forget, we are not here for a vacation. IS5
Dr.
still
Silvergun
follows
runs
many of the
in the
core
future, maybe,
from previous versions, but we now live in luxury because 5-star operators only require 2 OPs to recruit, while 4-star operators are completely free, leaving 3-star operators unemployed. Once we have gathered our team, the war crime simulation can begin. Upon entering the dreamlike illusion,
it's fun, but not
as
convenient. I mean, yeah.
Vividly and more physically, and I mean that literally. Introducing the brand new mechanic, thoughts. They really got creative with this one. Thoughts are separated into 3 different categories: Inspirers, Lingerers.
Yeah, I know how this works clearly.
Similar to Volldartelt, Inspirers can give you an edge in combat. Unfortunately, you're suffering from late-stage Alzheimer, meaning you can only use one thought at a time. If you use another thought, the previous one will be forgotten. Aside from those temporary manifestations of violent thinking, there are also long-term thoughts. These are categorized as Lingerers. Unlike the Inspirers, Lingerers can be perceived in all shapes or forms, like a flower, the sun, your enemy's blood, and whatever the fuck this is. Most Lingerers provide relics if you interpret those. They either increase your chances of getting better collectibles, or they have a way to sustain themselves, which begs the question if certain Lingerers are a form of organisms of their own. But sometimes overthinking can result in nonsensical
That's what's happening
Last
to me
but not
already.
least, we got Plan. This specific thought enables you to traverse through the floor vertically. It also allows you to
So it's kind of like
refresh any
Artifice
adjacent
Index, huh?
nodes into a different node, which single-handedly made this the best IS of all time, because now we have so much more agency over every run. Do keep that in mind for now, because it will be crucial later on. Usually, you can obtain plants by destroying the Spine of Epoch, which is a very annoying crystal that aggroes your operators and spreads necrosis on a daily basis. Aside from the mobility usage,
I've lost so many times because of that single crystal.
To gain hopes or create entirely new
Listen, just because I have one brain cell doesn't mean I only have one thought.
Which
I have
is
0.
the rarity and its mental toil. Rarity is an indicator for the quality of it. Like, you can tell that the thought of invading the weak is more violent than the mere thought of pillaging the weak. Since the Geneva Convention doesn't exist on Terra, we needed some alternative method to calculate the degree of crimes one has committed.
I mean, how many
Mental
World Wars
toil
did they
does
have?
What it sounds like. Each thought
Wasn't
has
the
a
Geneva
mental
after
toil
the
counter.
second
While
one?
you traverse
Maybe
through
they're
the
still in
floors,
the one
you can only
process.
hold on to a certain amount of thoughts, because remember, you're suffering from late-stage Alzheimer. Don't worry if you have forgotten about it, you can just rewatch that section again and again to boost my ad revenue. While below the given limitation,
don't worry,
your mind
plus
is
minus,
lucid.
I'll
But if
be
you do
pausing
decide to think
and
more
going
in
back.
this strategic tower defense game, your mental toil is gonna increase.
Dude, I've said this many times, like, he was showcasing the Arknights ad. Dude, it is so ass. Like, every time I get an Arknights ad, I'm like, AI voice, summer event videos, and then I'll go and check on my YouTube on my phone, because that doesn't have ad block, and I'm like, holy shit, Xenozone Zero is literally everywhere. There's content creators on the ads. I think I saw Kettle Toro as well on one of those ZZZ ads. But Arknights, there is literally no one on Arknights ads.
Once you get near a certain threshold,
ZZZ audios are ads are doing 2.0 ads now.
Any action done while
They're doing a big push on
ads
ads now.
might cause some irreversible brain damage. You can increase your mental toil threshold by bringing certain operators, although some operators would rather cause me more mental toil than helping me mitigate it. However, if you still insist on holding onto more thoughts to the point of actually reaching or even surpassing the red threshold, congratulations, your mind has been obstructed, aka partially lobotomized. In that state,
Holy
you
shit,
are unable
lobotomy
to
corp.
move to any other node. You are practically stuck, which is worse than a cave diver wedged 1000 meters deep in an originium slug infested cave. To progress any further, you have to commit to the act of forced Alzheimerism, which is why, aside from being a war crime simulation, IS5 is also an Alzheimer simulation, because there are many ways to get rid of your thoughts. Entering false to truth. Unlike my Discord
That's
moderators who spread misinformation about me on a daily basis, this newly
That's
added
just my
type
chat.
of node allows you to turn
My
fake
moderators
news into
are,
truth. You can interpret two thoughts and
they're
gain
around.
rewards based on the input. Using Inspirers grants you additional shields, while Plants can give you hopes, and Lingerers can grant you collectibles. The higher the rarity, the better the rewards. You can also fuse two of the same thoughts and create a stronger stronger one. As we have established in the city of Castel, violence is the norm. Unlike you and me, who only take our disagreements with a debate, Sarkaz prefer good old-fashioned face-offs. And this has happened to the Sarkaz too many times to count. You pick your two best fighters to win an argument. Circling back, the majority of nodes are still the same.
I have not done a single face-off.
The regular operation nodes are fairly self-explanatory. Everyone has their weapons drawn, but you're not just out for violence. You're here to
maybe that's why we're
dominance.
still not mods.
And if by any chance you entered an emergency operation, where some violence may well exceed
so
your
much
expectations, I can tell you beforehand that you need to get used to it, because in Castel, this is a very common occurrence.
Was that the Virtuoso?
And here's why. Castel's GDP is at an all-time low. Their birth rate is also at an all-time low, and their rate of violent activities is at an all-time high. Everyone is trying to kill you, because everyone is having a bad day. However, there is no need to worry,
whatever
for
comment
we
stream
answer
for me.
violence with more violence. We will just wizardile our way out, until we can't. Encountering non-combat related events is also part of the fun. However, do note that some of those can still trigger an operation. Wish Fulfilled is where you get collectibles at Big Bob's supermarket for free, while the Rogue Trader is still as scummy as ever, but this time you can beat his ass. Downtime Recreation is the perfect test to see if you actually read while playing this game. I didn't, and I legitimately misunderstood the bidding as I get more ingots the more I clicked. This was a common trait of losing too much thought. Scout stays as the node that everyone loves, no matter the circumstances, while possibility can either further increase your odds of total domination or become your absolute nightmare.
You will become a millionaire.
The first boss. I suggest stopping by the safe house to prepare your thoughts.
What is it, 14 hands of blackjack away from being a millionaire? That's the name. That's the math, like 14 or 15.
You know, resting on your own isn't healthy, especially in a cold society such as ours, which is why having something or someone to hold onto can make all the difference.
Okay, surely he makes this.
Our friend at Lonely Pillow has just the right thing. Mr.
Come on,
Lonely
plus minus,
was
don't
once
fuck
in a
us
rough
up.
spot, and his body pillow became the one thing that kept him
Surely
going.
this won't be as bad as Supa's
but
ad.
it gave him the comfort he
Last
needed.
ad wasn't
now
that
he's
bad.
passing that comfort onto all of the lonely weeps out there. As you can see, he
I have a
truly
teddy bear
is one
now,
of
a
us.
big one.
Lonely Pillow offers a wide variety of body pillows, from your favorite gacha games all the way to other popular franchises, and a lot of them are made by fairly known artists in our community, not to mention how all of their products are made with high quality texture,
One day I'll have my
which
own
is
body
actually
pillow.
a rare thing in this industry. But do not take that from me or from Lonely Pillow, take it from those people who have experienced their products firsthand. Check out this Whislash Dakimakura. It has an SFW version for those people who need their hunts at work, an NSFW version for the really thirsty people among us, and also an NSFW food edition. As you can see, Lonely Pillow covers all our needs. But
I am so scared for my life.
The Horsecock edition? They also have other popular Arknights operators such as Mudrock,
I
Surtur,
am terrified
Miss
for my life.
Cockroach, and Skadi the Corrupting Heart. She even has a unique
This
monster
video is
cock.
still up, so
Unfortunately, this isn't
I'm
Cornhub,
praying to
otherwise
God.
you'd be getting that cock in 4K. To finally quench your thirst, you can click on the link tree in the video description. Right at the top, you will find their store. Lonely Pillow supports both traditional artists and AI prompters, with each section clearly separated, so you. Now that you are all rested up, I think it is time to beat the
AI
first boss. Introducing Fremont, the King of the Liches. He used to be the teacher of the magical goat Hitler, and is also the most knowledgeable Sarkaz when it comes to origin.
My issue with the super video isn't the YouTube part, it's the Twitch part.
He did not come alone. He came with an entire orchestra, straight from Lythanian. On the surface, Fremont is like Ebenholz, but on legs. However, he also locks away any operator inside a coffin if they get killed or retreated. So, my best advice to deal with him is to use as little resources as possible at the start, because
Classic.
Because again, he was the Witch King's teacher. Regardless, he shouldn't be a difficult obstacle. Once you have defeated him, you are being reminded that this was all just an illusion. Maybe you shouldn't delve too deep into the furnace. But is this the end?
She looks so cute.
Congratulations, you have finished the first IS5 ending.
I have no idea.
There are 15 additional difficulties waiting for you to be overcome, and that is where the true experience of IS5 starts. We are rolling in with the infamous Blueprint Squad, a squad that lets you reset any node once for free, and pick the most broken combination of operators, which was definitely intentional game.
Is Medicamia that good? I see everyone picking it. Or is it because it's easier to like upgrade it? Because every time I see someone do IS5, they always have Medicamia. Is it because she's cute with her skin? Or is it because she's busted? She is good? Makes sense. She is a 5-star and you can easily get her on guard, caster, and medic tags. Okay, makes sense.
Design. Starting off, we want to get 2 specific encounters. Pick up this random weed, but don't light it up just yet. Trust me, it will matter later. Now you will have to choose your path between these 2 items to test your IS5 spectrum. Which side are you on? Are you a Doodle of Hope believer? Or are you a Talons of Hatred enjoyer? I always pick Talons of Hatred, and so should you.
The reason I picked Doodle is because I feel like my characters aren't built enough to do talents. I have started to change the few times that I have done IS5. I have started going talents now, but be aware, I have picked multiple times the Doodle. Medic, I'm just super mad, but she's the only option to pick. Really? Everyone seems to pick her. It's because you're a coward? Not because I'm a coward, because I know my limitations.
Is the difference between a casual racist and a ranked racist. With the combination of Talons of Hatred and Blueprint Squad, you are officially incentivized to do 2 things over and over until you can brutally murder any Sarkaz in Castel with only 1 operator in your squad. The first thing is to clear as many emergency stages as possible. To do so, you need to reset any adjacent node and move vertically as often as possible. In other words, for you, nodes like Safe House, Encounters, or Scout no longer exist. You have made the choice to walk on the red carpet to reach the end. The red carpet made with the flesh of blood of your Sarkaz victims, that is. And to do it efficiently, you're gonna need to recruit racists. Particularly this Welsh woman. Getting so many emergency stages also means getting a lot more rewards, more thoughts, and more collectibles, and soon enough
I've had the lamp show up, but I accidentally clicked on something else.
But this is just the beginning. The second task is becoming your own weed dealer. As I've emphasized earlier, to put it very simply, you double the amount of weed by taking it to the next floor. Once you reach the end, you will have a garden full of weed, which can be turned into all sorts of collectibles. And if you stumble on this collectible by any chance, then you can embrace Talifon's true potential and turn her into Sarkaz's worst nightmare. Despite the fact that we are embracing violence quite regularly, some enemies don't require violence, they simply need bullying, because for us, it is a custom. Another advantage of the never-ending cycle of violence is regular occurrence of spans of epoch.
They
with more
one-shotted my
spines
shit.
comes more plans.
They're like
and
the
with
little
more
spinny
plans,
wheels.
we can
They're
traverse
like
vertically
kamikaze
more often to clear even more emergency stages, and thus gain even more plans, more collectibles, and kill more Sarkaz along the way. I call it the blueprint of war crimes. At some point you will encounter the mid-floor boss. In this timeline, you are fortunate enough to face the professional yapper, aka the Doomsday Prophet. Yes, we are witnessing Khalsid edgelord phase. To effectively dominate her
she has a
monster,
soul?
you will have to dominate monster first and deal with her later, because otherwise, when her HP drops below 50%, she will swap places with monster and stun everything around them, which can make your life a little miserable. Once you have increased monsters
I see Shamir, I see
you can
Ami, I
fully
see
focus
Khalsid,
on casting your grape
I don't know who that
technique,
is on top,
malevolent
though.
backshot at the
He's a
fossil to develop Stockholm Syndrome for a healthier relationship and save many doctors from listening to centuries of yapping. Oh, don't worry about her. Someone will pick her up eventually. You might have noticed that most of the time you are moving with a fractured mind. The bad news is you're on the brink of death.
Underflow?
But
I see.
the good news is you're on your last legs, which is basically the same thing. And if you made it through the 3rd floor, you have officially earned a PhD. Not the useless degree kind, the real one. The kind you get from excessive thought usage and prolonged exposure to imminent death. Permanent head
I would know
damage.
that if I did the
Trust
events.
Me, dying mentally is a good thing in this IS. I am sure you are already familiar with zero sanity states anyway, and if you stumble upon this room while at 1 HP, that means you have hit the jackpot. Unlike previous IS iterations, we can now obtain all of the King's relics at once, sending Castel on the fast track to extinction. But wait, what if we played with Fate? What if Theresa and Theresis ruled Castel together as the leaders of Babel? One thing's for sure, a lot will change. What Theresa lacked will be compensated by Theresa's strength, and Theresa will guide the Castalian people onto the righteous path.
Also, for those worrying about spoilers, I have been made aware about Civilized Eternal's real name, so don't worry about me knowing that she's Theresa.
Nation. Everyone must pledge their devotion towards Babel, the new world government. There is no discrimination, the economy is flourishing, technology is available for everyone, and slavery is banned. But this alternative timeline comes with its own price. For this ideal world to take place, certain people had to die. Theresa and Theresis saved a small bunny. She suffered a severe oropathy which rendered her lifespan to
This feels like Tower of Babel stuff.
only
I think we skipped that part.
and injustice. Well then, let's take another peek into the furnace, shall we? You start off by using the same build to not deviate too much from the original timeline. You faced Theresis on the Gorchi board, where he left mid-game, which was against the rules. Well, so long as you can collect the crispy spines of Epoch, it is all good. But who the fuck put this burden beast this high up? Where did it came from? How did it get there? Regardless,
Just a
the
chill
most
guy.
logical thing to do here is to help them. You have obtained Carrot, your new travel companion. Their destination will be the last stage of the 3rd floor. Along the way, they will be helping you by carrying your luggage, making sure enemies don't pass through, and occasionally slacking off when you need him the most.
Damn.
At least Carrot is not suicidal, unlike a certain Last Night. Just note that Carrot won't help out in an argument. It is against the rules, but that doesn't mean we can't cheat through other means. It is funny that throughout the history of IS, we have experienced many encounters
Sarkaz
with
ladies.
hot Sarkaz ladies, whose goal is often involved in baiting us, but I think it is safe to assume that we have learned enough from our past mistakes, especially now that your goal is to literally slaughter their kin. Bait used to be, holy shit, is that a Sancta lady?
Oh, benevolent law, grant us all the strength to
Wait,
resist
is this actually her
temptation,
voice line?
to cast aside all intrusive thoughts and to walk the righteous path.
Hey Sancta lady, how am I gonna walk the righteous
No,
path
damn.
when you are so curvy? You shouldn't make the same mistake as me.
There's a better joke there. I can't keep myself straight when you're that curvy.
Unless you are prepared for the sweets.
What? That sounds like I'm being gay.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that this is all just a dream. There is no MILF Sancta in our main timeline. If there is, I'm gonna change the video title to "This video aged like milk." Before you recover from the traumatic experience, you are being kindly reminded by the Ducklord and his companion that it is time
those
to pay
guys.
the blood money, which you have purposefully forgotten to do for the past few weeks, because you have got plans. You have spent your ingots on something more meaningful. You have hired this Sancta to do your illegal money laundering and other tax-related business. It's actually crazy how far you can get with tax evasion, but running vertically
Tax
can
evasion
be
is
a
pretty
little
good.
confusing from time to time, and you might even end up getting lost in the city, just like these people here, who are a bit lost in the middle of a practice area for Castalian artillery. Once again, Hypergriff has outdone themselves by creating civilians even worse than their previous generations.
Dude, I hate
These people have
civilians
never
in
been
this
more
game.
Suicidal. During your trip to Total Annihilation, you might encounter
Civilians and
strange portals. Do not
the
fear if
hovercrafts.
it compels you to enter, for it has already prepared an exit. The question is, who shall enter it? The portal may act like an enemy, but it really isn't one at all. Upon defeating a portal, it will abduct your last deployed operator for the rest of the floor. They will be
Damn.
returned as promoted operators. Basically, the portals are scout nodes on legs. It seems like
I
you have
already
reached
did, don't
the
worry.
mid-floor boss
Even
of
on
this
IS2
timeline.
they're
No
annoying.
doubt. This is one of
Because
the
I feel
best
like I
MILF
can't
in
pull,
Terran history. She is so
aggro from
powerful,
them at
yet
any
she
time.
spends the majority of her power to look pretty for her
Is that
son.
Logos?
Unfortunately, you have recruited her son just to
Oh.
kill her in cold-blooded fashion. The next course of action you should take is to have one last visit at the shop, and by one last visit I really mean it, because you're gonna rob him for good. You're not just declaring war on Cannot. Obviously, you
Well,
could
yeah,
have just
I
bought
guess-
everything from the shop
I guess
with
you have
ease,
the
but
item.
it is not about saving ingots, it's about sending a message. This time, you left Cannot no way to run, so you can beat him up in broad daylight. The best retaliation he had to offer was sending some abandoned Sarkaz mercs, sad perils, and literal flying chests. Moving on, I haven't talked about the special benefit of the collectible trading node, Lost and Found. There you will have the choice
I just
to
throw
either
every
bundle your collectibles
whenever
or
every time I do a Lost and Found, and I don't know if the collectible, like how good a collectible is, and you trade it in, the better you get. Because every time I get one of those, I always pick the one that's like, oh, promote a guard without costing hope, and I just throw that one because they're already promoted. They're not gonna take it back, so fuck it, just eat it there. But I don't know if that's the play, because there has to be probably like some relics that you can throw into it, and they're probably ideal to throw. But yeah,
way for something completely useless, or get the Horn of Profit and change the course of fate. Refresh the next adjacent node. and it will automatically turn into a unique prophecy, which is actually a fraud. In actuality, it is a possibility node that throws you into an entirely different timeline. You might recognize familiar faces, and you might ask yourself, what if you made sure Frostnova and Patriot never met in this world? To accomplish this, you had to commit a bit of late fetus deletus, aka pulling the trigger. With that comes wild changes to the timeline. The word Sancta in your holy script, gone. Every historical node recording the violence of the Sarkaz disappeared. And what the fuck is a Tallulah? The names Sarkaz and Sancta never existed in the first place, because the law has accepted all Tikas. In fact, the Tikas too have built a paradise-like city for themselves, where they live in peace, devoid of discrimination and suffering. Do you want to continue and witness the city yourself?
Wait, isn't the next... no, the next IS is Yan, I was about to say. But the Chinese event that we recently saw was Laterano, right? And it talks about the law. Was that like hints towards the law in IS5? My brain.
You will have to prove you are worthy. You are honored to be tested by the one and only Buldor Kasti, but you have to warn him, because you are about to get racist.
Angel Bodakasti. No
the
longer
Gunnight
Patriot.
accepted your courage and welcomed you into the city. To be a permanent resident of Laterano, I have to say, this is so bizarre, yet so real. I bet you even forgot that this is all just a fable at the furnace site. Not even Fremont can wake you up anymore. The invitation, however, got suddenly interrupted by Kal'tsit. With the help of the united forces of the Eldars and the Ancients, she is here to annihilate all of Tikas, and thus, both factions will fight for all eternity.
Damn, Yapsif is the evil one there? That's crazy. Wait a minute. What is going on here?
Kal'tsit, we need your knowledge. Tell us about the Oracle.
Do not waste our time. Speak or we will extract the information by force.
Did he hire people to voice act on this? Let me
check. Do you think you can wield him? The Oracle is beyond your understanding.
Oh, he did. That's so cool.
You leave us no choice.
Cool crown. 150% true damage. So IS5 is what if things that what would happen if you change something on the timeline. Arknights would go broke if they hired voice actors to do main story dialogue. Even just main story. I'm not talking like even intermezzies or side events, but dude, the main story being voiced would do so much favor to me. First, I'll talk about that. First, mostly because I try to voice act them myself. I'm not a good voice actor. I cannot do female voices or big, deep, masculine voices, even though I am very masculine and very tall at the same time. But like, there's just a lot of yapping, plus I'm not good. So yeah, I can see how that would be a struggle, but like, they're professionals, they're used to it, right? It's like, what, you pay like $1 million, $2 million to fully voice act it, you're fine, right? Also, ignore the subscribers, you're probably yelling, they're in the basement. I didn't feed them today. I'm fine with that. I just, you know, voice acting is nice. And then you can have like a whole YouTube video of Kal'tsit monologuing through the lore for 8 hours to make you fall asleep.
We know what you are.
Is this
your origin?
Please
your
don't.
Purpose.
Is this spoilers?
We have awakened you for a reason.
Please, help us. Too many have suffered from apathy. Too many lives have been.
We skip this? Okay. Okay, we'll do the credits.
If you are interested in history, then you should absolutely check out my world tour video where I traveled across half of Terra, talking about the history of every nation, so you don't have to. A huge thank you to all of my channel members. You guys are absolutely amazing.
We do
and
ethical
the reason why
reacts
I
here.
can
We're
live
gonna
out
let
my
this
hobby
part.
without questioning my own sanity. If you want to support me, consider leaving a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future content. I will see you in the next video.
What is this end part?
Additionally, I'm hosting a giveaway. 4
Oh.
people can earn a monthly card.
Giveaway. I feel like I'm a bit
You
late
just
on
have
that
to
one.
fill up this Google
May
form.
2nd,
So
yeah.
I will get
I'm a bit late on that one. But that was a pretty good video. So when it comes to IS5, also, am I not subscribed? Well, oh, different type of subscribed. This is subscribe plus. Okay. So when it comes to IS5, I do intend on starting to farm it more directly, mostly because I am done with the IS4 farm that I was doing. And IS5, I do want to get into it. People have said probably avoid it for now, mostly because of spoilers. But I will, what I'm going to do more than likely is nuke my insanity on the lore while I have it. And then when I'm 0 sanity, just IS5 it up. Not really reading into stuff, just playing it for the gameplay. That is what I am planning to do. So if you want to see those gameplay sessions, feel free to join us at twitch.tv/RayConnect or here on YouTube. I go live almost every single day at 3 p.m. GMT +1. Also, make sure to leave a like on Plus Minus's videos. Their videos are always super good and super well done. They deserve all the love they can get. Leave a comment on their video as well, saying that you saw them through me. All that good stuff. But yeah, if you want to see more of these videos, once again, just leave a like on my video as well. And comment down below what kind of videos you want me to watch. Or join the Discord to link me directly on there so I can do them on viewer submission days. But yeah, that is it for today. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you have a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, or a good night, whatever that might be. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!